Peace and love. It's been a while coming to speak, especially on my spiritual part, So many things I've learned. The gap, the growth that I've experienced, it is higher than many might think. I mightn't speak a lot like I used to, but I usually say that I look simple, but I'm not simple. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that in a righteous way. I always used to ask myself a question. If Christ should return as promised in 2026 with the stories that we heard, what type of life would Christ live? What type of friends would he have? What type of social media platform would he have? What type of family you would be around? And it always ponder me, Me as a person, I believe in depth. And I deal with half and quarter way. That's why when me say, when me clock in, me not clock out. And when me go for boy, me not miss. I'm somebody. When me get called to do a job, it has to be complete. Sangani said to me, he said, my child, you're not a stone, you're a diamond. I was the one who placed you into your mother's womb. And before placing you, you was in my palace, sitting on my lap, because you're my child. And you agreed to something. And upon agreement, entering the universe, your memories would clear. But standing in alignment would be the reason for your memory to return. And he said to me, he said, it doesn't make sense if I tell you who you are, because you would never believe. I will have to show you. When he said that to me, I heard him. It registered. But when I got into the boat accident and came up in the middle of the river without a life jacket, it is when I know it is not a joke thing, While I was here, in my alignment, I was fighting heavy spiritual warfare. If alignment at a school or someone to taught the class, there is no pastor, no elderly from any religion that could explain and demonstrate or be the guidance. During meditation, I went to the depths. It's like I go in a hell and knock on the devil door. And when him pull it. Yeah. We have to take this thing step at a time. In the beginning, who follows DJ Magnum, you would know me say, many lies are being told and many games are being played. I spoke about Christ. There's a book that was placed in the universe. To some people, it's a good book. To some people, it's a bad book. Sanganisan, what I would say is that book caused many problems. The reason why I said that is because if mankind treats that book as a buffet table where you pick up a plate and you take what you believe that is good for you and you place it on the plate and you eat, the universe would be a way better place. But you have some people, they pick up the plate and every ingredient, every recipe, every food that is on that buffet table, they place it in their plate as if it is mandatory to eat everything on the table. But I understand, because it is a fear, it is a book of fear, it is a book that drives fear into the hearts of those who reads it. It is also a book that women got less respect. It classed them as concubines, Delilah, Jezebel, all sorts of names. The person who wrote that book said, "Thou shalt not question God." And I know it was a fool who wrote that book. And that person is the devil. The thing about when you're lying, you have to remember your lie. But a lot of people would go with the flow because we have to fear God. I doesn't live by that concept. God is love. So how can I fear love? Thou shalt not question God, it is foolishness. For if a child doesn't know, he has to humble himself and seek advice from the elderly or his parents. Because he who feels he knows it all knows nothing at all. As my father said, he cannot tell me who I am. He'll have to show me. And I wouldn't come on social media trying to proclaim myself as what I'm not. Because self-praise is no recommendation. But many are called and few are chosen. Heaven doesn't have one God. There are many gods that is in the heavens. But in that book told you about one God, it is a book that would mislead you. And if you're living in fear, you would accept it from the book and wouldn't seek knowledge on your own. And you would go about living many lifetimes ignorant. Now, the story about Christ, many lies. And Sangani's son will correct those lies. God doesn't come, but he sends. The same God that was sitting on the throne and stood his duty in the beginning of the universe. He is still that same one. Africa, they will call him Baba Shango, the God of fire and thunder. That is why I see a lightning flash and thunder roll. In this part of the Caribbean, we acknowledge him as Sangani Baba. In India, they know him as Shani Devi. Just like how my primary school friends knows me as Darrell, my high school friends remember me as Romeo. And today I'm Magnum, Sangani's son. Many names, but it is one person. So it is the same thing. God doesn't come, but he sends. Baba Shango, Sangani, Shani Dev. He is the God of judgment. He is heaven's gatekeeper. There is no one who can get past without his permission. I'm not asking you, I am telling you. And he sent me once more to balance the universal scale. That is why I am so quiet. If I get into any problems, I say peace and love and make sure it's done. To come against someone like me or to try to harm or play games with someone like me, you are playing with something heavily divine. I am here for disruption. I'm not a people pleaser. I'm not here to look friends. I am here to fulfill a prophecy that was written and it was told and passed down for a very long time, that some of the truth is now a myth because we heard so many things. What I can recall, after the devil murdered me and stole my body and kept it in their secret place for DNA. I remember visiting him and I told him, I said, when the universal scale is unbalanced, I will return for what belongs to my Father. There was something stolen that has more value than any wealth or any influence or any material things. It is something called spiritual inheritance. It is the reason why the devil ordered Sangani's son, Christ, Jesus. Whatever name you guys run with, I was never a saint. It is lies. I was a divine soldier sent. I was a son of a serious man. My father is heaven's gatekeeper. And I walked the universe as I should, boldly spread my father's message, not in the way it was told. There were many disciples that walk side of me. Few of them was females also. We went many places. But music, it was the best way to deliver the message, because people gather around when the drums beat and the dance, and But I used to get a lot of attention, and I used to move in a type of way that no one else moved, until it started spreading that I was the son of the king. What made me so popular, it was my appearance, and it was the truth. It was nothing else. I was popular because when I spoke truth, it dismantled whatever was going on at that time. There was kings and people in high places who sent to call me, and I refused because of integrity. I never left to go sit to make anyone smile. And not everyone deserves my presence, because it is pure. Not in the type of way that the Bible told you to be pure. As I mentioned, the Bible drove fear. I doesn't deal with fear. The devil deals with fear. It is something he has to do to rule. Without fear, he has no power. And many people in the universe today doesn't know the difference between fear and respect. You see what the devil does? He gives fear and he places a little bit of control to keep you in line in his decorated cage that he built with his government system and the segregation. It is one of the reasons why I doesn't fit in any of those categories. Not because I'm better than anyone, it is because I was chosen for a special task. The Illuminatis and the secret society and the devil knows exactly who I am. But they are open to use every trick in the book to stop me from stepping into full alignment. I burned up trophies and I was being mocked. And I called out the Illuminati boldly. I called out the devil boldly. There is no one who can call out darkness, especially the devil, the way how I does, and walk the universe. Christ, Sangani, bloodline was stolen, his spiritual inheritance. There is a story that is in the book speaking about a man called Judas, which is wrong. Judas, it is to misguide black people from remembering the bloodline. The royal bloodline belongs to my father, Baba Shango, Sangani Baba. I carry the spiritual inheritance that I shared many secrets with my disciples at that time. It is why anywhere I used to go, I used to get attention, and when I speak, people would listen. Not because of the person on the outside. It was because of the spiritual inheritance, that divine gift that was placed inside of me by my Father for a special task. And as I return in the universe, this time, it is more worse than the first time. I wouldn't speak or go into depths, but the veil between heaven and earth, it is thin. I am the last warning before revelation. Revelation not in the sense of what the Bible said. Revelation for the devil and the secret society and the Illuminatis, who built a nation off of my father's bloodline, spiritual inheritance. The influence that they brag about, it doesn't belong to them. The wealth that they build the authorities and hierarchies, whatever word they use to describe. I'm speaking from the King of England and the Queen, come right down to government system. It was built on the royal bloodline. The only persons or only people who can be compared to that bloodline, and I'm speaking about black people from the royal bloodline, it is the Chinese people. Just like how the Chinese people are quiet. You walk into their supermarket, serve you, and that's it. You would hardly see Chinese and Chinese people arguing. And the more supermarkets they open is the more they keep opening, because they have something called unity and love. Not by speaking it, by showing it. It is action. Black people from the royal bloodline doesn't know about poverty. It was placed and given unto us after they sacrificed me. And my disciples couldn't get any more verdict, because I was the bridge. Because when I left them and I entered stillness, my Father would give me verdict so I could walk and speak truth into the universe. But my disciples were the biggest Judas. They are the ones who sold out the royal bloodline. They traded for a social status, a few dollar coins. It was probably enough at that time. But when money spent, it wouldn't last forever. What happened when it finished? And when my Father saw the ones who used to be close to myself sold out the bloodline, he got angry and he cursed the royal bloodline. And that was when Sangani, my father, sank Port Royal in Jamaica. There's a reason why I pay so much of attention to Jamaica. Would I be a madman to say, Sangani, have mercy upon them, please? Calling all the Christians and the Muslims them, all the Hebrews and the Hindus and Selassie children, Naya Pinkies and the Congo them, tell them go up above a hill and just, cause Jamaica is not the devil's playpen. Please remove your demon. Who would be that man to play such lyrics in a song for clout? It wasn't clout. It was obedience at that time. I'll speak on how I came about that song. I know everything that goes on in Jamaica. And if I don't want to be praised, but there's a building in Jamaica, a building structure. It is still up a day like today. Many stories were told about that building. That building belongs to Sangani's son, the one that the Illuminatis killed and hid his body, and his disciples sold him out. Disciples sold out. They told the secrets of the bloodline to the devil, and it is how the Illuminatis does their rituals and tap into our bloodline by using stolen light. So when you see they walk around and say they have influence, the influence doesn't belong to them. It is 2026 and they are drowned in society with distraction. But I seek everything, and the world is going to witness who I am. So when I spoke to Cartel, it is because my father told me that the heaven placed a curse on Cartel, because he was given something special to do the work for the light. And he took it and did the job for darkness. You cannot take God's gift to do the devil's work and turn around and curse him. It is why I said Cartel has been cursed. They took away his ear because your ear is your strength. That is why you cannot remember lyrics. That is why you cannot find anything. He's like a madman with clean clothes. He's just like a shell, a mannequin. Sangoni's son never spoke a lie. Whatever is taking place at some fest, it is not musical. It was never musical. When Cartel clashed in Movado, what appears to be a song clash, it was never a song clash. It was a battle between dark and light. And my father, Sangani, left the events and stood on that stage when Movado and Cartel clash and ensure that Movado left as the winner, because he would never allow evil to trample good. My father left not because Movado could not handle himself. There are many games Cartel plays. If you go back and look at the tape and observe, there was a time he was standing singing like this, and he wasn't get what he was looking for. Cartel walked with an army of demons. If it wasn't for my father's presence, his demons would have confused Movado, and he would have got to walk over. Whenever he say that Movado forget lyrics, he said that when he left stage, because he was busy trembling. Because he wanted to know where is his demons. They was backstage. They could not enter the stage because divine presence was there. But right after, when Cartel left the stage and he went backstage, the demons whisper into his ears. And the last man standing came up with that lyrics quick, because the devil and his army gave him that lyrics, and they used the internet, and the Gaza fans is under ritual brainwash. Because from you say Gaza, you're affiliated with something that you has no idea about. It is called deception, manipulation. But there are many more things that I have to say. I'm now stepping in back into alignment. Jamaica, prophecy has to fulfill. Port Royal, it was a city. Let's just say it was the Messiah city. There is power when Magnum meets Movado. I'll speak on that differently. There is a picture that I post with Movado. I post it at certain time because I am the light of the universe. And there are many artists and many souls that the dark side hijack their frequency, stealing their light. Many of them look for it, because who plays with fire will get burned and who can't hear will feel. But Cartel has no love for anyone. I'm not saying this to turn anyone's mind, I'm speaking the truth. It is why any artist who rose, that came from his camp, They did it independently, and they did it with God, away from him. Gaza nation, it was never about talent, it was about stealing frequency. From popcorn to rhino to Gaza, Kim, Slim, Lisa Hype, not nice. For those persons who told themselves there wasn't any justice, the justice has arrived, and there is no one who's going to stop it, and there is no one who can lay arms and sanction his son. Peace and love goes out to Jamaica. Something is coming, and the entire universe is going to see that silence was never absent. My father remained silent as he looked on. I'm here to balance the cosmic scale, and there is no one who's going to stop me. And I'm going to repeat myself. From the King and the Queen of England, come down to every government, it was built on the royal bloodline, my father's alignment. And I'm here to take what belongs to my father. Lies is being told about 144,000 will rise. It is lies. It is 30,000, not 144. I know some of my disciples, and I seek them. Many of them are doing their job. Foota Hype is one of them. He's placed here for a purpose. Every answer that wasn't given, or whatever foolishness is on Google, the truth that I carry, it is higher than Google. AI see me and bow, fumble and crumble in my presence, because I carry a rare frequency. Frequency that could only be compared to the Messiah. Who have eyes to seek shall seek, and who have ears to hear, let them hear. I am the last warning. I am the glitch in the system, the one who was sent. For those who cried and called for the heavens and felt like God wasn't listening, your answers arrived. Keep your phones on, and let's pay attention. This is prophecy fulfilling in real time.